Hello my fellow crafters and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. Today I'm going to be making a card for you. And I don't know how the weather is at your side, but in the Netherlands it's looking a lot like spring and I love it. The sun is shining, blue sky, temperatures are slowly but surely rising. Nights are really cold, but during the day it's getting better and better and better. So I thought I want to do a card that represents spring. So I'm going to use the Daffodils from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing, but as usual, I will post a link below in the description box of all the products that I'm going to be using. So that's going to be there. I've cut out my base layers using the master layouts, one from Gina K. Love it. Takes the measuring out of it. So I've cut out my black matte layer, my front card layer, and I've got my card base ready. So I'm going to put those to the side. Of course, the Daffodils, I'm going to use some inks. I'm not going to make yellow Daffodils. There are many colors Daffodils. We always make them yellow, but yeah, it's not necessary. I've cut out a strip using this size, this one, from this, what's it called? Fitted fishtail tags, and that's gonna be for my sentiment, so I've cut that out. And I'm gonna use this stamp from Crafter's Companion saying hello sunshine. So that's what I'm gonna stamp on there. So I'm gonna use Daffodils. I've already cut them out, so I'm ready to color them. Put that to the side. And I'm gonna make a background using a 3D embossing folder. I love 3D embossing folders. I love embossing folders. Period. So I'm gonna start off by doing that. So I'm gonna take my card front panel. Now this is what I love about the Sizzix ones, because the printed side is the front of the panel. So that's how I'm gonna put that in. But first I want to do some ink blending on my background. And I'm gonna use tumbled glass for that. In the Oxide. And I'm just very, very lightly gonna ink blend. Let me put this out of the way. Ink blend coming in from the side. Ink blend over this panel, just to give it a hint of color. And I know it's a wall, but hey, in card making, in our fantasy, it can be anything. Just coming in from the side and blending that color towards the inside. I see the color looks a bit funny on my screen. Let me see. There, that's better. Sometimes my camera does weird things, but now the color is what it should be. So I'm just coming in from the side and blending towards the inside. And I'm using the Elizabeth Craft Designs soft finish cardstock for this. Just because it takes the ink so beautifully. It gives it a velvety, soft look. And I'm going to use the same for my Daffodils. So I thought I want the background in the same color. Makes sense. Right, I'm just going to leave the center a bit lighter. And of course, I need to spritz some on there. And what I'm using is water with some perfect pearls in there and some mica powders, to give it a bit of sparkle. It's just, I love it when with the oxides, when you wet them, they even get more softness and more oxidized. So I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel. I'm going to put that over there and press it on there to get the excess water off. And that gives it, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it gives it really nice, soft sparkle. Not too much, just enough. Okay, now I'm just gonna lightly spritz the back of the cardstock. Because this is a 3D embossing folder and it's quite sharp. And what the water does, that softens the fibers of the cardstock. And that will help to keep the embossing in place, but also prevents the cracking of the paper, which of course we don't want. So I'm going to position my cardstock in there. Trying to line it up straight. There we go. Close it down, and I'm going to put that through my die cut machine. Okay, ready for the reveal. There it is. Look at that. Perfectly embossed. Beautiful. Beautiful background. This is what I love about embossing folders, is that, yeah, you get stunning results every single time. Next, I'm going to take this brush and, no, sorry, wrong brush. I'm going to take this brush, just going to wipe it off slightly because I don't want too much of the old color on there. I'm going to take Pumice Stone and just give this card from the side, very light touch, going over this embossed area. You see what it does? It gives it just a bit of a more grunged look, I would say, or more natural stone look. And because this embossing is 3D, it has, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is stunning. It has got all these different dimensions. A normal embossing folder is 2D, but this has got several layers to it. And because of that, not everything grabs on of the color that I'm putting on now. And that gives it great dimension. Lightly going to go over the whole piece with what's left on my brush. There we go. Beautiful background. Dimension. Shading. Yeah, love it. Good. So this one is done and can be put to the side. So next I'm going to take a finger dauber and I'm going to take aged mahogany. Beautiful deep red. I'm going to use the oxide. I'm just going to put that on my finger dauber. And I'm going to color my daffodils. I'm just lightly going in from the inside. Taking off the excess and continue to blend this color towards the outside, making it lighter as we go. I want the darkest concentration on the inside. There we go. So these are already colored. Put them to the side, let them dry, because I want to do something more to them. First, the ink needs to dry. Then, of course, we've got the stems, and I don't want them to be red, obviously. Well, anything is possible, of course, but I want to keep them realistic. So that's going to be green. I'm going to use Rustic Wilderness and Twisted Citron. So I'm going to start by, at the bottom, using Twisted Citron. Why am I using Twisted Citron? Because I have, in front of my house, I have a lot of daffodils every spring, and same this year. And what I noticed is that the stems at the bottom are all lighter. So I want the bottom of these stems all to have a bit of Twisted Citron on there. And I'm going to use the Rustic Wilderness. Oops. And turn this around. Now this is a bit small for my big fingers, so that's why I'm coming back in with my tweezers. I'm just gonna dab this on there and blend that in with the Twisted Citron at the bottom. So there we have it. All the stems are colored. These are colored, so ready to assemble. Now, as we know, Oxide inks are water reactive. So what I have here is a baby wipe. I'm just going to take my finger and dab on the leaves more towards the outside, just to create a bit more dimension and structure to that. Now, another thing I want to experiment with, I want to give them a bit of shape. So what I'm going to be doing is these are going to flip them over. I'm going to give them a spritz of water. And then I'm going to take my little thingy. I don't know how this is called. I don't know. I'm just going to work that in. Now, why I give it a spritz of water is I don't have this wisdom from myself, but it's because what people told me is that it's helping the flower to keep the shape. And this water that I'm spritzing now as well will also oxidize the oxides, giving it an even more softer look. There we go. Daffodils are shaped. So now I can assemble my daffodils. I'm going to start with my little bud. And the bud is going on this one. I'm just putting some glue behind here. And line this up. There is the first one done. So next I'm going to see, this is the small one, this is the big one, this is the small one, this is the big one, small, big. Good. Now we've got our things assembled. I can start to actually build this. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And then this one is going on there. And then this part is going on top of this. It's very easy. And this is going on here. So we've got our daffodils in a different color than we normally do, but I think it's pretty. Just hold the glue in place for a second. And I love that the daffodils have a bit of dimension. They're not completely flat. That's what I like. That's what I wanted to achieve with that shaping I did. So not much. I mean, they're not roses or anything. So next it's time to assemble the card. So I'm going to take out my layers. I'm going to first glue this one on here using my glue. Because of the texture on the card, I like to use glue. I'm going to put this on here. And because I use glue, I can wiggle it around, making sure it's in the right... Oh, David, come on, that's not straight. I have to pick it up a bit. Sorry, guys. I know why, so bear with me. Because I've cut the panel first. Normally this is a perfect fit, but I've cut the panel first, then I embossed it. So the panel is smaller. Didn't realize that. Makes perfect sense now I say it, but... So I will just trim off a tiny bit from the bottom once this is dry. Okay, here I've got that banner that I want to use. And I'm going to put this Hello Sunshine on there. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to trim it down so it has the size that I want. So I'm just going to stamp that out in black. But I am going to use my stamp positioner for this because I want to make sure I get it right. So I've got my mini Misty here. Ink up my sentiment. And press it down. This is what I love about using my Misty. Just get it right every single time. So now I'm just gonna play with my card. And I'm gonna play with how I want to assemble this. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna put this one on first. This needs to be in the right position to assemble the rest of the card. I'm going to put the glue under there and put that there. There we go. Next I'm going to take my daffodil and put some glue behind him. Or it. Or how do we say it? Put some glue behind the daffodil. That's how I say it. This one up. There we go. And then I'm going to take my glue again. Take the second one. No rocket science in these. That's what I like. And I'm going to line that up right there. I'm going to trim the bottom off. This little one. I'm going to tuck that under there. And because I've shaped these daffodils, I get dimension on the card, which I like because the background has dimension because of the 3D embossing we did. So I'm going to trim off all the things that are hanging off the side. Just making sure everything is pressed down and well adhered. I've got my little trimmer for this one. Actually, I'm going to do some Nuvo crystal drops on this. I think, I'm not sure yet. But first I want to put it on my base card. Now I'm going to do that using my big roll of 3D foam tape because I want to give it some more dimension, pop it up a bit. So I'm going to put that on, put a bit of glue on there to give me some wiggle time. So I can really position it how I want it. That's fairly the point. Wow. Right in one go. There we go. I'm just going to put some dots here and there. Well, there. There we have it. Just some pearly drops. Just the Nuvo drops that I've used, the clear ones. These will dry nice and clear. Pick up some of the blue underneath. And here we have the final results. The final card for today. I love it. I love the dimension of the embossing folder in the back. I love the slight dimension the daffodils have. I'm not sure you can pick it up, but I will post a picture now, right here, so you can hopefully see it on that. Thank you very much. If you like this video, please consider to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Now, as I mentioned, all the products I've used are listed below in the description box. So if you need something, you can find it there. And with that being said, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I would love to see you for the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.